How do we humans become who we are? Why do we think, feel, and do as we do? Where do our beliefs and values come from? And how do they influence actions, policies, and practices around the world? How can we find a way to engage with each other about issues like culture, religion, or politics in a way that is respectful and curious, rather than disrespectful or indifferent? Questions such as these are so very important to who we are and where we are going as a species. The answers we discover along the way help us make sense of ourselves, others, and the larger world. The Beliefs, Events, and Values Inventory, or BEVI instrument, seeks to explore these questions by objectively measuring key aspects of the complexity that makes us human beings.
I find the BEVI really fascinating. I think it can be used in many ways, particularly if you're looking to understand learning or looking for transformation and the ability to document it. The BEVI has particularly strong psychometrics, and there's been a great deal of development on the BEVI, which gives me a lot of comfort in its use.
The BEVI consists of a series of statements about beliefs, values, and life events. It is typically completed online and usually takes about 30 minutes to complete. As the consent form indicates, participation is voluntary and your answers to specific questions are completely confidential. They will not be shared with others unless you give written permission for that to happen. Both individual and group reports are available to prompt reflection about development, growth, and the effect of experiences on beliefs and values.
I found the BEVI to be a most useful tool in evaluating the impact of youth leadership development programs. This is an area that's hard to really measure any progress in the short or medium term. And in an age where funders and sponsors want quantitative data and results, providing them with positive statements from students about their future goals just doesn't seem to be enough.
As a measure of beliefs and values, it does a great job of studying that information and providing some data about beliefs and values, but without any kind of judgment. It doesn't suggest that certain beliefs or values are good or bad. It merely suggests that they exist and gives you a way to understand beliefs and values, where a person's at currently and where they move to, perhaps with some kind of learning experience.
We chose the BEVI as a way of testing our longitudinal impact on our students because it really tests the whole person. Other programs look at cultural literacy, for example, but BEVI really looks at the students' belief systems, value systems, and the way that events in their past lives have shaped the kind of people they are. The students were just amazed by the magic of how well the test articulated what they had suspected they had experienced, what they felt like they had experienced. It was kind of a validating for some of the immense growth that they had gone through. And then finally it gave us a really good indication of how well we had been able to meet our learning objectives, how much growth the students had gone through.
Just taking it changes you. The items, the questions, they make you think, they make you feel. It's gripping in that way. It's not superficial at all, which as an academic psychologist, I really appreciate.
One of the things that I appreciate most about the BEVI is that it's really a pedagogical tool. And as a teacher at heart, that's really important to me because yes, research is important, but I think what gets left out of that research process often is any benefit for the students, any real direct impact on their learning. And they found some interesting points of commonality with people they didn't think they had anything in common with. And they found some really interesting differences with people they thought looked just like them.
The BEVI helps us better understand how a set of beliefs and values are tied to a set of needs, emotions, and life experiences. It also helps us know how deeply entrenched these beliefs are. So, and under what circumstances will these beliefs change or are amenable to change?
The BEVI is a tool that, it takes up demographic information. It seeks out information about life events. It focuses on experience and offers space for the respondents to be reflective about that experience. And it collects and analyzes the data with certain measures of validity that I believe are sound ones in a social science research sense.
There is now BEVI J, Japanese version of the BEVI. We are getting some reports back from the BEVI, and some of those data shows very interesting results compared to other programs we have been running. But by comparing those results with our Japanese students, we can see big difference in various areas.
The BEVI is a measure that enables us to capture a deeper understanding of human behavior in favor of carving a roadmap towards a more equitable world and fulfill our potential for greater good.
Although it's a predominantly quantitative test, it has 3 open-ended qualitative items. And that allows people to further share their experiences and their stories. And when you mix the quantitative data and the qualitative data, it enriches the results and ultimately leads to understanding them better.
The training was very straightforward. I felt very comfortable after the training, really understanding how this measure can be used, how you can use the BEVI to understand individuals in transformative learning, whether that's in psychotherapy with mental health assessment, or through classroom learning, or through study abroad. There are many different ways that the BEVI can be used.
Overall, BEVI results are used for evaluating intervention effectiveness, understanding processes of change, promoting learning objectives, enhancing teaching, program, and intervention quality, facilitating growth and development, conducting research, addressing leadership and organizational needs, and complying with assessment and accreditation requirements. Although there is a lot more we could discuss about the BEVI, you now have a basic idea about what this measure is and why we are asking you to complete it. Thanks in advance for participating in this fascinating process of trying to understand better who we are, what we believe and value, and why our answers to such questions matter to us, to others, and to the larger world.